Okay, today we're ranking about how much I like every single team. So if first category of the team that I'm a fan of, which is only going to be one, teams that I like, which is just teams that I prefer winning. Neutral teams where pretty much I don't have any feelings for them, and dislike teams I pretty much don't like, and then the burn to the ground teams I despise and wish they didn't exist. So the first team, the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't have anything against this team. I like the Who Dey Nation. Their fans are good. I've always liked Joe Burrow. I'm not a huge fan of Jamar Chase, though, but I think their defense is always underrated. So I'd say I like the Bengals. Um, I want to see them win a Super Bowl one day. And then you have the Patriots, still not over the 20 years dominance. Um, them winning so much, their fans, even though they've died down the last 3 years, their fans during that 20 years was just horrible. Um, Still don't really like Belichick, or their owner for that matter. I think he's not a good person. Don't like burn to the ground. I wish they hadn't won any of those Super Bowls. And then you have the New Orleans Saints. Really liked them when they had Drew Brees. I was a huge fan of Drew Brees and his accuracy, and also his occasional big play. Like their colors, and I remember the first game I ever watched in the NFL was the Saints versus the Panthers. So I'm gonna put them in a team I like. Then you have the Steelers. Don't really have anything against them. Don't really have anything for them. So I'm gonna put them in neutral. San Francisco 49ers. Similarly, um, I'm not a huge fan of San Francisco 49ers fans since they always think they can win it every single year, pretty much since like the 90s, pretty similar to the Cowboys. Don't really like their fans. Don't really like Kyle Shanahan either, so I'm gonna put them in dislike. The Cardinals, they've Cardinals have been irrelevant for as long as I can remember. So I don't really have anything against them or for them, so I'll put them in neutral. Similarly, Falcons, the only thing that I don't like about Falcons is how they blew a 28-3 lead against the Patriots, but I kind of feel bad for them. So I'll put them in neutral as well. Although I do like their logo. Similarly, I do like the Ravens logo, um, but there really isn't much about the Ravens. They've been good. Their fans aren't horrible-ish. Their fans aren't horrible. Nothing great about their team that I like. I don't really love them. I don't really like Lamar, but I don't dislike him. Similarly with pretty much every other player, so I'm gonna put them in neutral. Then you have the Buffalo Bill as a rival. I don't really like them. I thought their Bills Mafia was fine until like last 3 years, where they're starting to become really, really annoying. Still not the worst divisional rival, so put them in dislike. Panthers don't really have anything for them. I did not like Cam Newton, especially his later years in Carolina, but that's long ago, 5 years ago. So not really anything against them now since they've been bad. So I'm put them in neutral. Similarly, Chicago, they've been bad, so usually it's hard to hate on somebody that's been constantly bad. So I'm gonna put them in neutral. Then you have the Browns. A few years ago, I liked the Browns. I was really supportive of them, especially when they were building up after being like 0-16. I liked them until they got Deshaun Watson and now they're just neutral. Would have put them in like a few years ago, but now they're just neutral. You have the Dallas Cowboys. Their fans, I do not like Jerry Jones. Their team is all right. Their team is talented, but Cowboys fans always hype up their team every single year, and they never always go to the Super Bowl. They're annoying. Their fan base drags the whole team down, and they're 90s winning, obviously, so burn to the ground. Broncos, nothing against the Broncos really outside of Hackett, who's no longer with the organization, so put them in neutral. Like Lions, mainly Campbell. Always liked Dan as a coach. Always liked him as an assistant coach. Um, Lions, obviously, they've been so bad, and I feel bad for them. Also, I've like their Logan. I've always supported Goff. I don't think he was the reason um I don't think the Rams should have got rid of Goff. So I like the Lions. Tennessee, nothing big on them. They've just been kind of there. Not good enough for me to hate them. Not bad enough, to me, not bad enough for me to like them. So, and none of their players are that bad. So I'm gonna put them in neutral. Packers, pretty similar. They've been good, but in the playoffs they've been trash. So I don't really hate them for being good. But don't really like them. So I'm gonna put them in neutral. Houston Texans, you guys have been bad for too long. Neutral. Similarly for the Colts, they've just been irrelevant for the last couple of years. Jacksonville Jaguars, they got Trevor Lawrence. Um, their fan base, I think, is to starting to actually feel good. Um, they just I don't know. Franchise has no history. There's nothing much. I'm gonna put them in neutral. Kansas City Chiefs. I liked them before. I like Patrick Mahomes. I really like Andy Reid, so I'm gonna put them in like. In the Rams, living around the Rams fan, not the best. Not a huge fan of Sean McVay and how they won their Super Bowl. So, I wouldn't hate them, but they're definitely in lower parts of neutral. Chargers, there's just not much to talk about in terms of them. Don't hate Herbert. Don't really hate their team. I don't like Stanley. Their logo is fine, I guess. I'm gonna put them in neutral. And then you have the Dolphins. I'm a fan of them. Um, my dad is also a fan, so I followed him, and so I'm a fan of them now. Always like their Dolphins. Always like their logo. Probably my Dolphins are my second favorite marine animals after the sea turtle, which for some reason still doesn't have a team. Like I like Mike McDaniel, um, and I hope that they do better. I hope that they do great, go to the Super Bowl next year. Vikings fan, their fan base can be loud at times, but not the worst. Um, kind of there, put them in neutral. And then you have the Giants. Surprisingly, after last year, I thought their fan base would become much more annoying, like the Jets, but surprisingly not. I'm not sure how the fans reacted after the Super Bowl since I wasn't following the NFL that closely back then, so I'm gonna put them in neutral. And then you have the Jets. My dad always hated the Jets, and I did not really know why until last year. Um, for some reason, the Jets are celebrating a 7-10 season. They were mediocre. I know that was better than they've had the past 10 years, but still, the 7-10 is mediocre. Not all the um, Jets fans are yapping their mouths, so I'm gonna put burn to the ground. Raiders, their fans are just kind of crazy. Fans are kind of crazy, overhype their team every single year. Not a huge fan of Carr when he was with the Raiders. I always thought he was just average, and they should have let him go way a long time ago. Their fans are just crazy though. Put burn to the ground. And then you have the Seahawks. I think I said my logo is one of my favorite logos. I liked Russell Wilson and I hope he can rebound. But I liked him with the with the Seahawks. Pete Carroll, I thought he was always a good coach. Um, and I was born around the Seattle area, so I like him. Buccaneers, they were fine. They were pretty bad, and then the Tom Brady era came, and their fans become really annoying. And I don't like Brady, so I'm putting him dislike. Eagles, I like you for them. I like your team. I like Jalen Hurts. I like the construction of your team. Um, but your fans are horrible, my Eagles. Always chirping, always super annoying, always picking fights. You know how Eagles fans complain about Cowboys fans? Everything they complain about can be used on Eagles too. But because of Jalen Hurts, I'm only gonna put them in and their logo. I'm gonna put them in neutral. I really like their logo. Then you have the Commanders. I just feel bad for the Commanders, so put them in neutral. So there you have it. This is how I feel about every NFL team.